Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Not Dead Yet. I am Leroy, and today I will be taking a look at Final Fight, one of the perennial beat-em-ups of the 1980s, back when the genre was, I guess you could argue, in full swing, and probably at its best, to be honest. Obviously, with its inclusion on this series, this is listed as one of the 1001 video games you must play before you die. I'll be upfront, I have played this game before, and I will tell you right now that you should probably play this game at some point if you haven't. Just because it did, there were beat-em-ups before this. I believe Streets of Rage, I want to say, is one of the founders of the series, but nevertheless, that doesn't take away from the overall impact that Final Fight was able to have. And in reading its entry in the book, I actually did not realize back in the day that this was supposed to be a sequel to the original Street Fighter. So I'm not talking Street Fighter 2. I'm talking actual Street Fighter that no one seems to remember. Originally it was supposed to come out and be called Street Fighter 89, but from what it sounds like in the book, when the game got released or sent to the arcade operators, it was so different from the original Street Fighter that they were like, nah man, you can't call this Street Fighter 89. So ultimately they ended up changing the name to Final Fight, which I guess is good in the long run, because as the commentators pointed out in the book itself, had this continue to be the, I guess, official sequel to Street Fighter, we might not have gotten Street Fighter 2, which would have been a goddamn shame, because as everyone knows, Street Fighter 2 is one of the all-time greats as far as video games go. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Well, obviously did already. In case you're unfamiliar with the beat-em-up genre, because it doesn't really exist these days, beat-em-up genre mostly consisted of 2D side-scrollers, where your whole point is to basically just go through different environments and stages. You've got different weapons that you can use, usually pick up, different health items that you can pick up as well, and you're just fighting your way through from one end of the stage to the next. So, yeah, I know it sounds pretty repetitive, but this is one of those games that was originally designed to be a quarter muncher. It was pretty difficult from what I remember back in the day. You don't really get that sense of it playing it on, the console re-releases, because there is no such thing as, quarter munching. You've got unlimited continues, so, you're just playing straight through, which I guess is both a good and bad thing, because I never actually beat this game in the arcades when I was a child, because typically I would die, I would say probably around the 4th, maybe 5th level, and I don't know about you guys, but I had a very limited allowance, so my disposable income was non-existent. So the allure of this game, I would say, is it's got some pretty basic controls. It really is just jump and attack, which really uncomplicates things, because I feel like that's where a lot of modern games sort of meet their downfall, is just, way too complicated control schemes, way too complex mechanics that are involved, which I understand that they add to depth for certain genres, but, with a genre like this, you don't really need skill trees or, points or whatever. You just need to be able to want to go through and just beat the shit out of people for like a couple hours, which is a-okay in my book. Now, while I was explaining everything earlier, I probably should have pointed out there's 3 characters that you can choose from in this game, each with their own kind of distinct fighting styles. Cody was the first character I had, generic dude with white t-shirt and jeans, which was the style of all beat-em-ups back in the 80s. I'm pretty sure the main character of Streets of Rage dressed the same exact way. This dude that I'm playing right now is Guy, who is the resident ninja, who in future games has been retconned to wear nothing but like Nikes and shit, which is pretty dope. Pretty stylish, if I must say. He is the dopest ninja of all time. And then there's going to be a third character that I will probably pick when I die, Mike Hager, aka the Mayor of the Earth. You've probably seen him in other games such as Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which are the same goddamn game, so I don't know why I said it twice, but there it is. Now, you can see a lot of, I guess a lot of maybe character design and some influence in Street Fighter. Like, there is a basic concept of a combo, like you really just mash attack, and if you mash them consecutively, like they'll pretty much perform their own combos. Not to the detail and extent of a Street Fighter game, but nonetheless, same basic idea. You're chaining together attacks and using them to dispatch as many enemies as possible without taking that much damage, which I'm really bad at, so pardon me, but I'm gonna die a lot. Another way that you can see the influence of Street Fighter and where this was supposed to be a sequel, this game is actually considered to be part of the canonical universe of Street Fighter, where, like, shit that happens here is supposed to affect the Street Fighter timeline too. And that's strengthened by the fact that, you know, eventually, I believe Guy and both Guy and Cody were actually added to Street Fighter Alpha 3, which takes place before, I want to say, the mainline Street Fighter series. So that sort of sets the precedent there for this being part of the universe. And then ultimately, Hagar was in Capcom Fighter Jam or Capcom Fighter Evolution, one of the two, and then eventually made his way over to Marvel vs. Capcom as well. Let's pick Hagar. But the point remains, you know, these characters are, you know, these are Street Fighter characters. This was supposed to be a Street Fighter game, so even though they're different in name, same universe. Now, Hagar's a little slower, but, you know, he's got his special move. Oh, that's another thing, too. If you hit jump and attack at the same time, the characters have, like, invincible special moves that get you out of, like, being stun locked into attacks. So think of it kind of like a reversal from a Street Fighter. Like the Dragon Punch. It's your get out of jail free attack, but with this game, you do lose health every time you use it, so it's not like something that you can spam continuously. Like, you've got a limited amount of uses before either you run out of health and you can't use it anymore, or you die. I guess that is running out of health, so it's a redundant statement, but you get the idea. So besides the regular standard attacks, you've also got these different weapons that you can pick up in the environment, which help out a lot, because these big motherfuckers, the giant dudes, the Andors, they are a pain in the ass. They have a lot of health, and they hit very hard, and typically can stun lock you pretty quickly. So I typically try to, if I don't have a lot of enemies that I'm dealing with, I'll try to save a weapon for when the bigger enemies come out. That way I don't have to really stress on them too much. And then for the Street Fighter minded people, you'll probably recognize the fact that Andor is also in Street Fighter 4. He is Hugo. I believe they're part of the same family, so again, we're making that Street Fighter connection with Final Fight. And I'm sure it's Capcom's way of consolidating series so that they don't have to put too much effort into, you know, making new and original storylines. We can just make everyone part of the same universe. But I'm not going to hate, because I actually find the Final Fight characters more interesting than most of the Street Fighter characters. Like, in this game, Cody is a hero, but ultimately in Street Fighter, that dude ends up going to jail because he is weird or some shit. I don't know. Part of his storyline is he breaks out of jail continuously because he is bored. Like, he just beats the shit out of people and then just breaks out because he has no one else to beat the shit out of. Saddam is actually also in Street Fighter Alpha 3, so a lot of that crossover is just there. And it took me years to realize that. Like, as a child, I did not put two and two together, so I thought, hey, that looks familiar. And what do you know? These are the same goddamn characters. Fuck you. So, as you can see, the boss characters, they hit really, really hard. And that's part of what makes a quarter muncher is, like, you're gonna get hit no matter what. Movement is very limited. You can try to move out of their path and their plane, but most of the time they have bullshit tracking that you don't have access to, so that's a fair fight. And that's purposely designed. You know, this is a way for them to make easy profits off of a 2-hour game, instead of having you play one time for a quarter. You know, you could probably easily suck $2 to $3 of attempts out of a player just by notching up the difficulty a little bit, making it super cheap. But we're on console now, so that's not an issue anymore. Fuck you! He's gonna die anyway. Don't tell me he died from that. Okay. See if I can spam an attack. There we go. Okay, what is that? We're 2 levels in? I think there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 levels in this game. And this was always one of my favorite parts of the game, was getting it to the bonus stage. Which I want to say there was something similar in Street Fighter as well. So I'm just gonna mash the shit out of this button and destroy this car. That way this dude comes back really upset. And you can get the 80s influence very clearly because it's not an 80s movie or film unless someone is destroying the shit out of someone else's vehicle. That's just how it is. And just random packs of gangs littering the city. All cities. It doesn't matter where you're at. That sucks for you. So yeah, I think we're only like... We're 10 minutes in, and I think once we get to the end of this stage, I'll probably call it, but that'll be the halfway point of the game, too. It's not a long game at all, but again, it's just mindless fun. That's the thing about the beat-em-up genre is they're always going to be mindless fun, and I don't mind that. Like, if you're going to be mindless and unfun, then what's the point of making that game? And the thing with this is, there is co-op. Like, it was encouraged to play with other people in arcades back in the day. This remake that I'm playing for... This is the Xbox version, but I'm playing it on the Xbox One. It actually does have online co-op as well, but the game has been out for a while, so I don't really think there's that many people playing. And truthfully, I don't even know if I have this lobby open anyway. Fuck. Come on. Come on. Alright, there we go. Pretty sure Andor is supposed to be like a caricature of Andre the Giant. Which is pretty cool. Like, great homage to that guy. Because if there was another thing that was big in the 80s, besides shitty fashion, gangs everywhere, and synthesizer, it's wrestling. You know? That seems to be the rage these days, is being nostalgic over dumb shit that happened a long time ago. Come on. Get stabbed. Not me. Not me. You. Knife. Knife. Pretty sure I can throw that. No. Didn't throw the knife. There it is. Not today, big man. Not today. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Goddamn fire. Come on, knife him. There we go. Just gonna spam these jump attacks. It's working. Why not? Like, I don't think... I honestly don't think games these days can get away with a 2-button control scheme. Because people would be losing their shit. I'm pretty sure that developers would, like, not take the time to either animate enough or think of ways to mix it up with a 2-button control scheme. I'm pretty sure they would just assign one attack, be the same attack no matter what the circumstance. If you jump, it'd probably be a jumping punch, and that's a bummer. Whereas this game, like, you know, you got your standard jab. If you get in close, you can grab them and throw them. You got your jump kicks. That's jumping straight up. If you jump forward or with momentum and kick, you've got the jump kick. So again, it's simple shit that works. I don't want to fight 2 Andors. This is fucking bullshit. This might work. This really might work. I almost fucked that up. Oh, I forgot. That's the midway boss. Here's the real boss. Coming up soon. A lot of these enemies have weird-ass names, too. Like, I think there was one... Bill Bull or something? Yeah, Bill Bull, Gato, Andor. I'm pretty sure those are just, like, mistranslations. Let's go with Hager. Alright. Pile driver. German suplex. I forgot, Poison was in Street Fighter 4 too, so like they are slowly but surely reintroducing all the Final Fight characters in the Street Fighter, because I don't think there will ever be another Final Fight. Not after that atrocity of a PS2 game. Or was it PS3? It doesn't matter, it was bad. Like, beat-em-ups haven't really translated well into 3D. Ever. So unless someone decides to take up that mantle, this is about as good as it's gonna get. Alright, Eddie. Alright. Lariat. Lariat. Oh, I thought I was gonna lariat. That dude's name is Bread. Not the food, just B-R-E-D. Bread. Don't. No guns. I forgot, this dude likes to gun it up when he's low on health. Bullshit. Come on. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Just get hit. Garbage. Oh yeah, that's life. There we go. You are dead. So are your flunkies. Yeah, that is the halfway point of the game, so I think I'm gonna call it there. Thank you guys for checking this out. This was another quick, not dead yet. So, all in all, I would say Final Fight you definitely should probably play. At the very least, you'll see what the height of the beat-em-up genre is. And, you know, school yourself in a little Street Fighter history if you didn't know it before. If you didn't, now you do, and I'm glad I could be a part of that, because I also learned something new today, too. So, thank you very much, guys, and I will catch you